Today is day 26 and I'm going to be talking about taking care of yourself. We've talked about the fact that, sorry, I keep putting that paper there. We talked about the fact that with BPD we are, what we have, the main areas, we have impulsive behaviour, distorted thinking, unstable intense relationships and unstable intense emotions. So when we talked about the managing in episodes, we go to that high level, and at that level 4, level 5, we're likely to reach 4. Dangerous activities such as promiscuous sex. And I've talked about sort of avoiding sex, but I'm not saying that you shouldn't have sex, because obviously it is pleasurable for some. But what I'm saying is some people use it as a means to hurt themselves, like be promiscuous with it and put themselves out there, which isn't safe and isn't nice. So I'm not saying you can't have sex as an enjoyable activity. You can, but it's just when you're doing it to hurt yourself or someone else, and it's not a good thing. Just I haven't said that, I just wanted to say that. So taking care of yourself is really important, because it then shows your body that you're kind of like, no, I'm going to do nice things for myself. Shows your illness, sorry, that you're going to do nice things. You're not going to self-harm, you're not going to drink, you're not going to take drugs, you're not going to do all those things. You know, as much as they take away that emptiness, and as much as they fill that void, you know, they're still harming us in the long run. So there's going to be a few areas I'm going to talk about today, and that is sleep, eating, exercise, leisure, physical health and abuse avoidance. Sleep. I find if I haven't had enough sleep, I am evil. No, seriously, it makes my illness a lot worse. If I've had not enough sleep, too much sleep, or my pattern of sleep is off balance, that will affect my mood, which will then affect my behaviour, and then I could then behave very badly towards others, or then go and reach for damaging things. So if I don't get enough sleep, it shows. And and this goes for all mental illnesses. Sleep is very important. Obviously, some people are affected hugely by their sleep if you have hypersomnia or insomnia, but on the whole, it's easier said than done. This is very easier said than done. It takes time and it takes practice. But the first thing you can do is try and start going to bed at the same time and start getting up at the same time. It's very, very hard if you try and go to bed and you're lying awake for an hour, tossing and turning. I sometimes find that isn't the best thing to do, because I find if I go to bed and I'm tossing and turning in bed, it makes me more angry, makes me feel, I'm not going to get any sleep, so it makes me more riled up, so we don't want that. It's not just about that as well, it's trying and do some relaxing, soothing stuff before you go to sleep. So try avoid alcohol, avoid any stimulants, avoid any food, and even exercise as well, unless it's something gentle, maybe like a nice meditation or yoga or something like that. Anything that's going to get you all, riled up again, we don't want that. We want you to be nice and calm. So I will be doing more videos on these for the channel, but this is really, I think, for BPD people, it's very important that you start to develop a good sleep routine. Eating, this sort of carries on from what we were talking about yesterday with our fruit and veg, but eating healthy and balanced. If I'm eating crap food, I feel crap. Like I've said before, I'm not so great with my eating. I'm not the best vegetarian sometimes, because I eat a lot of cheese and I eat a lot of carbs, and I'm not so good. I love my vegetables, but I can be quite lazy. So try your goal setting for this one. Try your goal setting actually for all of these, because they could be all things that you can add to your life, add to your daily routine, your weekly routine. It's not just kind of like, oh yeah, just, it really does make a difference. If you're eating well, if you're eating nice vegetables, healthy food, you will feel better. Easier said than done, and I'm not saying go and try all of this, because it's very, very hard. Like I say, take one of these at a time and use your goal setting for this. Exercise. This is really good for balancing your emotional levels. I have been doing yoga for about 18 months now. I try and practice every day. The reason I started doing it is not because I was like, I really just want to get to yoga, because it's quite a trendy little thing at the moment with yoga. But I did it because I researched it, and for BPD it's very, very good, because it does keep your levels down, it keeps you more relaxed. especially when you start to incorporate breathing and meditation and things like that. But yoga's not for everyone. I know some people have tried it and absolutely hate it. If yoga's not your thing, try walking, try swimming. Again, use your goal setting here. Apply this to your 6-step goal plan. But exercise is very good because it releases lots of happy chemicals such as endorphins, and we need those to make us feel a bit better. And if we're going into a BPD level 4 depression, it might be that doing something after we've come back down our levels, such as swimming or whatever, will really kind of help you feel a lot better. So that's sleep, eating, exercise, leisure. Now this is something that when I was doing my, all of this is taken from the steps manual, by the way. When I was doing my steps thing, I was like, leisure? But everything I do is my leisure. And it's like, well, actually no, because it's enjoying time for yourself. And a lot of the time I would sit and, maybe do some crochet, but I'd feel guilty because I wasn't doing something else. But actually that was my leisure time. And it's important to allow yourself that. It's important to allow yourself time to relax, to step away from the craziness that is this world, and take some stock, take time to look after yourself. So leisure activities could be anything. And this isn't involving exercise, but it could be, going shopping with your friends, or going to the cinema, going to dancing, going for a pub lunch, or whatever. I've talked about pub lunches all the time. I love a pub lunch. Things like that. Physical health, and I'm not just talking about exercise here, I'm talking about all the things. So getting up and having a shower. Sometimes that is the hardest thing to do in my day. Getting in the shower and getting out, brushing my teeth and putting a brush through my hair. Some days that feels impossible. Other days I can do it. When you can do it, give yourself credit. When you can't, give yourself credit for just getting out of bed. So again, physical health is not just about what you're eating. It's about just washing, taking care of yourself, going to the hairdressers or the barbers, getting the trim, whatever, just taking care of yourself. And I'm not saying you have to put makeup on or, do dedicated skincare or anything like that. Just something, even if it's just putting a flannel over your face, just to wash off the sleepy morning. If that's all you can do to get up and get washed and dressed, that is amazing. I'm going to do a whole series about getting out of bed at a later date. But with BPD, physical health is also very, very important. If you're managing all of these things, you are less likely to feel like you're going into an episode. And finally, avoiding abuse. And I don't just mean your abusive behaviour, if maybe you're in an abusive relationship. Obviously, if you are in an abusive relationship, then we need to do your best for you to come out of that, but that takes time, and I'll talk about that in another video. Anything that is a self-damaging behaviour, so anything that includes suicide attempts, physical self-abuse, so cutting yourself, substance abuse, so alcohol or drugs, abusing prescribed medications and over-the-counter medications, promiscuity, reckless driving, binge eating, or other harmful eating behaviours, criminal acts, poor self-care, money management and abusive relationships. So there's a lot of things there to try and avoid. I'm going to put all of this information in the description below. But again, you can apply your 5 steps to this. So your abuse avoidance. So you really want to reach for that, that spliff. And believe me, I know what that's like. I know what that's like when you really want that. You really want that buzz, you want that feeling, you want to feel whatever. But you can use your 5 steps. Distance, communicate, challenge, distract, manage problem. So make sure if you think you can do that, give it a go. Like I say, everything's going to be in the comments below. I keep saying that, in the description below. Thank you for watching. It's been a bit of a longer one today, but I think this is quite a big topic. Let me know how you're going with taking care of yourself, and if you've got any other tips for anyone, please put them below and just tell me how you're doing. Keep talking about me. I want to hear about you. This has been day 26. I think I said day 25. I meant day 26 of the 31 Days of BPD. Please join me tomorrow. Please like and subscribe if you haven't